Alright, so the HP Omen lineup is slowly gaining a lot of traction. I mean, not slowly, but it has gained a lot of traction and has reached a point where it has become a good competitor, a good alternative to the likes of the ASUS ROGs and the TUFs, the ASUS Predators, even the MSIs and the Lenovo Legion series. In fact, the HP Omen 16 did wonders for the company and it was one of the most highly acclaimed products out there. However, that product did leave a lot of folks wondering, what if it came with an AMD processor instead of the Intel one? Well, that's what this video is all about. This right here is the HP Omen 16 with the all-new AMD Ryzen 7 5800H processor. Now the question is, with the starting price tag of Rs 1.10 lakhs, is the HP Omen 16 powered by the AMD option worth it? Let's find out. This is Warren from GTR and you're watching my in-depth review of the HP Omen 16. Let's get started. Okay, so kicking things off, let's talk about the design here. Now, I had previously reviewed the HP Omen 15 that was launched last year, and interestingly, the design here is pretty much the same. However, we do have some improvements. Starting off with this hinge right here. Now, unlike the previous models, this one doesn't go flat 180 degrees, but more importantly, it's a lot more sturdier now. It still wobbles a bit, but is far better as compared to the previous generations. Other than that, you get a plastic frame with a matte finish, which might look a bit cheap at first, but definitely feels premium in hand. There's also the Omen branding behind it, which is a massive fingerprint magnet, and to be honest, doesn't really add much definition to the laptop. Like, honestly speaking, I would have preferred if this was a glowing logo, because right now it just tries to look minimalistic, but essentially comes off as very, very boring. Now, in terms of portability, the laptop weighs around 2.32 kgs, which is about what you would expect from a gaming laptop in this segment. As for connectivity, over to the left side, you get a full-size SD card reader, a 3.5mm headphone jack, a super speed USB Type-C port, a full-sized HDMI 2.1 port, a mini display port, a USB Type-A port, a full-sized LAN port, and a barrel plug charger. And that's not all. On the right side, you have two more USB Type-A ports as well. So yeah, all in all, the HP Omen 16 has you covered on the connectivity front for sure. Next up, let's talk about the display here. The HP Omen 16 comes with a 16.1-inch IPS LCD panel with a 144Hz refresh rate and a response time of just 7 milliseconds. Now, we've seen a similar panel on the HP Victus that we reviewed recently on a channel, and truth be told, it's a great panel. You get 100% sRGB coverage and the color reproduction on this is top notch. The 144Hz refresh rate works very well for gaming, and the low latency ensures that there's no significant delay while playing intensive games. There's no support for HDR here, but even so, the panel works very well for content consumption. Now, speaking of which, if you do plan on watching movies on this thing, the laptop does come with a dual stereo setup that is powered by Bang & Olufsen. The best part here is that the audio does not distort at the highest volumes, and the speakers are good for movies too. However, for gaming specifically, the bass isn't the best, so I'd suggest using a good pair of headphones if you want to listen to those gunshots and footsteps a bit more clearly. Moving along, let's talk about this lovely keyboard right here. Now, in a nutshell, it's pretty good enough for whether you're gaming or typing on this. See, the keys here are well laid out and have decent spacing in them. So as a result, what you get is a great typing experience, as the key travel is also decent enough for that clicky feedback. Now, I would have liked to see a numpad here, considering that this is a big chassis, but I can understand the omission for the same, since the layout does give each key some breathing room. You also get RGB lighting here, which is quite customizable. Now, it's not per key customizability, but instead it's the keyboard divided into 3 different zones, with the WASD keys being the 4th zone. However, you still have plenty of effects to play around with, so that's good. Another thing I want to highlight is that both the sides of the keyboard have these stems, which hold the display and prevent it from bending when the lid is closed. Now, while the keyboard is mostly positive, the touchpad below it is a whole different story. The edges of the touchpad are mostly non-responsive, and even when the touchpad does recognize your fingers, the movement is mostly jerky. Now, I'm not blaming HP entirely for this. I mean, it could be a fault of the ELAN drivers that come pre-installed on the system, but regardless, for the end consumer, the experience is just not good. Thankfully, HP does have a plethora of USB ports that I highlighted previously, so you can plug in your gaming mouse while still having other ports available. Now moving along, we have the 720p webcam here along with the dual array microphones that are provided by HP. Now you can judge the audio quality of the microphones for yourself as the audio is obviously being recorded by them. But as far as the video quality is concerned, it's mostly on the softer side. There's a lot of noise here, a couple bit of graininess that you can notice as well. And as far as the face lighting, keep in mind that I'm recording in the studio lighting right now, the same setup that you were watching, and the overall face structure and the face lighting and the skin tones aren't really realistic. Now, even so, it's still good enough for a normal laptop, especially for a gaming laptop. I'm not saying it's super bad or anything, but yeah, things could have been a bit better. We are in 2022 and it's high time that manufacturers start including at least a 1080p webcam. Alright, so now let's talk about the performance. So our unit here comes equipped with an AMD Ryzen 7 5800H octa-core CPU coupled with Radeon integrated graphics for general tasks, and for gaming you get an Nvidia RTX 3050 Ti laptop GPU. There is also 16 GB of dual channel DDR4 RAM clocked at 3200 MHz and a 512 GB NVMe SSD from Samsung. So in terms of benchmarks, the laptop aces through synthetic benchmarks like Cinebench, 3D Mark, and also Puget benchmark for Premiere Pro. As for gaming, we ran a ton of titles on this, and for the most part, the performance is about what you would expect. So the laptop manages consistent 60 FPS and AAA titles on mostly high settings. Yes, you can push things to ultra, but that's not really what the RTX 3050 Ti is meant for. I mean, it has already been well documented that the RTX 3050 isn't really that much of an upgrade over the aging 1660 Ti. In fact, in some cases, the older 1660 Ti does perform a bit better. So while supposedly it's nice to see that the new HP Omen 16 comes with the new RTX 3050 Ti, there's no significant performance jump here in terms of the graphics department. Now, apart from all of that, I also let my editor use the Omen 16 as his daily driver for editing videos, and on the whole, he was quite pleased by the overall performance. Of course, Premiere isn't the easiest of software to work with, but apart from a couple of issues here and there, the overall experience has mostly been positive. The HP Omen 16 does heat up a bit, but it's nothing over the top that you need to be concerned about. In terms of upgradability, the RAM here is user upgradable, so you can upgrade it to 32 GBs if you want, and the storage here can also be upgraded as per your liking. Lastly, there's a battery life. The Omen 16 comes with a 4-cell 70 Wh battery, and as far as the battery life is concerned, for normal day-to-day tasks and productivity tasks, which basically includes multi-tab browsing, playing songs, watching movies, it gives an average of 3 to 4 hours of battery life. And that's about what you would expect from a laptop that packs in this much amount of horsepower, so no complaints there. As for charging, you get a 200 watt barrel plug charger that plugs in right here. No complaints there either, considering obviously it's a gaming laptop. So, damn, I didn't know I could flip it. Anyway, the big question, is the HP Omen 16 worth it? Well, let's put it this way. It's a good laptop that can be recommended. It's not a clear-cut winner, obviously, because there's a lot of good competition out there. But as an individual product, it's a very good package. Now, when you talk about the competition, for about the same price, we can get the Lenovo Legion 5 with the same specifications. If you're specifically eyeing this laptop for editing needs, for about the same price, you can also get the ASUS Zephyrus G14, which will come with an even more powerful Ryzen 9 processor. And if you're super serious about gaming, there are options from ASUS that offer an RTX 3060 paired with an i5 processor that's obviously targeted towards gamers for a far cheaper price tag. All in all, the HP Omen 16 is a solid laptop that offers great specifications, good performance, and comes with a decent price tag considering the brand value as well and the kind of service network that HP has. As a consumer, the HP Omen 16 will not really leave you complaining for a lot. And well, that was it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Juan from GTR, and I'll see you in the next one.